here. You've got weird things around your
I know.
shoulders. Postural.
Yeah.
Oh, and is it comfortable or uncomfortable?
I mean, it's uncomfortable, but it's more comfortable than a really sore neck and traps. Right. Yeah, I think it's my long neck. If I slouch, there's so much length in that giraffe neck, as some of my students have called me.
Your giraffe neck. But I think any length neck is going to get sore if it slouches.
I know, but look at you. You're like this. You're like that.
I don't have neck problems. Well, I'm also trying to be closer to the microphone.
Yeah.
You're like 7. I keep moving it closer.
But you just
and you're
said,
like,
no, but you just said that any neck would hurt. And then I said, what about you? And you said, I don't have neck problems. So what you said was any neck except for my neck. I believe that when you have like a longer lever, like, I don't know.
No, I'm with you. Actually, yeah. I agree.
That's what my chiropractor.
Because think about it, like taller people often have more knee problems, like longer legs. It's just more for a joint to be handling depending on the joint. Yeah. And, you know, we can't predict the joint.
Anyway,
but for you, it's your neck.
My chiropractor has said.
And this isn't like I don't know what we're doing here. We haven't really, to me, this isn't, we're not at A material quite yet.
I mean,
Angie.
Margaret.
It's season 2.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did we decide that?
Because I said so.
Oh, okay.
Well, we started this about a year ago.
Yeah.
So, and then we took 7 months break. The last time I had a file on here was in December that I noticed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So I figure season 2, it's our second summer of recording and we've lived life. And I think that.
Who have we?
I know.
Oh boy.
Life is lived. One thing I was thinking on my walk yesterday, I was like, you and I are now both single by choice.
SBC.
SBC. Would you agree with that? Discerning? I don't know.
I would say that if I met somebody I was attracted to, that I would be open to it.
The reason I was thinking of you as single by choice is because it seems like you kind of had an opportunity to reunite with, a previous boyfriend that perhaps at one time you would have been interested in pursuing.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, you are single by choice.
I think because I knew that there was no way it was going to work, but I still loved that person very much.
Isn't that fascinating? Oh my God, I swear it feels like we're leading a double life because that is the way I would describe it. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Something like that there's just no way it's going to work. I really love the person, but there's just no way it can work with the circumstance.
I would say in my case, it's with the personality or the particular sets of issues. My case is not.
Perhaps with what you see to be the reality of the situation.
Yeah. If we're just
I'm just trying to find the blanket to create a commonality because I get the sense that if we both wanted, we could have relationships.
Right.
Still.
Yes.
But we're saying it's actually better for me not to.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree. That's the commonality. And there's sadness in that, I would say, for myself, even though.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, I'll just speak for me. There's love in a way that I've never kind of felt for a former person that I've been involved with where I actually feel... I can really be around this person and feel love for them and not
want it to be a relationship.
Yeah. I can't remember. So what did I used to say? All right. Okay. So welcome to the podcast. This was So This Is Love. How do you do love? But now I think it's just How do you do love with Angie and Mag. And I am Mag and
I'm Mangles. Because that's how my autocorrect signed my last email.
God damn it. We already did the graphic. I have to change the graphic now.
With this blood.
With Mangles and Mag.
Mangles and Mag.
Mangles and Mag. Yeah, every time Angela tries, not every time, many times when Angela's trying to sign her name to something, it autocorrects as Mangles.
And it makes me laugh every time. Like, never do I get bored of it. Not one time.
You would think your phone would know your name is Angela.
You
like, it
would.
knows everything else about you.
Yeah. I think it knows that I find it amusing, and it's like, tee-hee.
Maybe, yeah, you know what? It's funny you say that, because, like, so I am, known as Miss Tweety, and I have a little mascot called a Miss Tweety bird, and I often have people asking about the birds and the Miss Tweety birds and blah, 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 talking about birds. And every time I text the word bird, it autocorrects to a friend of mine, the songwriter that you came to see me perform with, Matt Bird.
Yes.
It's spelled B-U-R-D.
Yeah.
If I type bird with the correct spelling, B-I-R-D, it autocorrects to capital B-U-R-D.
Yeah.
And I'm in touch with Matt twice a year at the most.
But I wonder how many times you typed, like, what's the algorithm? How many times did you have to type bird as
retype B-U-R-D. Yeah, maybe.
And then it's like, permanent, this is permanently how you will spell bird.
Angela's doing the robot, folks. Let me dictate, okay? Now she's laughing.
Will permanently spell bird, B-U-R-D. B-U-R-D. Yeah.
So season 2, how do you do love? So Angela, what's new?
Well, I feel as though this has been one of the busiest seasons of my life, and I don't know how I could have done any loving in this season. There was no time for loving.
No room for loving.
But I would like to make room for that, Yeah, I'm putting it out there in the summer. Summer loving had me a blast.
Okay, I don't know so any of you listeners out there, calling all listeners between the ages of, what are we, 40 and 60?
Girl.
How young would you go?
For my summer loving?
Yeah, for summer loving. 25?
No, Jesus. I would say 15 years if that man did not want to have children.
How old is that hot handyman that just came over the other day I was telling you about?
Well, I know that he just turned 40. I know. That's exactly what I was thinking.
I love it. You're like, well, up until 3 days ago, I wouldn't have gone 5 years younger. But then I ran into this really hot guy.
It's true. It is.
I believe
we come up with these bullshit things, and then we're like, ooh, okay, for you, I will make an exception.
Oh, so true.
I think it's because I could see that in this person's demeanor, that he didn't think of me as old because of his life experience.
Right. But you're also very youthful looking. Like, Angela, there is a unanimous, like, the group of people that know who you are, they may as well all say, Margaret, you look at least 10 years older than Angela, which is fine because I'm happy with how I look. I know I look 55, maybe 53, maybe 50. But that means, Angela, you do look early 40s. Like, you're very young looking. So don't cut yourself short.
No, but I know somebody else who is less than 15 years younger who looked at me as
older.
Wizened older sister because he liked to date people 10, 15 years younger than him.
He likes younger women.
Yeah. And so, no, I'm not everybody's cup of tea if I'm older than them. But I could see that it was cool because I could see through this person's eyes. Not that they were flirting with me or anything, nothing like that. But that, oh yeah, for a certain younger guy, I wouldn't be out of the question. But for another younger guy.
I actually think he did not look at you as older and wizened until he started to think about family.
I don't agree because I got the vibe that I seemed like an older lady.
Interesting.
I know.
Interesting.
I know. It was hard on the ego, but that's okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, and what is it? Okay, so this is something that has come up a few times, and I've such a strong belief about this because I've run into this so many times, and as you all know, met so many men online and just around, and men are like, I swear, it seems like every man thinks they're like, well, I'm 55, but I'm pretty young for my age.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I don't know, is it an ego thing? It just feels like they're always like,
they always think that they're young for their age. Well, I'm thinking of all of the people that I know There's a couple people that you and I both know who
Not mentioning any names.
who I feel
You know who you are.
is young for his age, or just really.
He looks young, but he acts like an old, grumpy old muppet on the. And you know who you are. Is it looks or person? And that's the thing, because I know I look old. Well, I don't want to say
You
I look
don't
old.
look old.
I don't think I look older
No,
than
not
my
at all.
age. But people tell me they think I look young for my age. But I don't know if it's that I look young or it's that I'm just really, I'm positive and youthful in my approach to life. And I think that's kind of where I go with people. And that's why you kind of wonder, like, why do these people think they look young?
Right.
Because they don't act, they act their age. I don't know.
Here, I'm just going to put this out here. What do I want? What would I be attracted to? Somebody who is youthful in their spirit, for sure.
Yeah.
That is number one. And then number two, that they take care of themselves, I would say. That's pretty high up on the list. So maybe that they have a not youthful, but just, this is going to sound so whatever, but somebody that, takes pride in their appearance, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a certain level of, it's a value system that they take responsibility for their health.
Yes.
And generally, that they look a certain way because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it says a bunch of different things. It says a bunch of things, that I think. I'm not looking for somebody who is like a bodybuilder. I'm just saying, you look like you care about, how you treat your body and your...
Yeah, and you're responsible. Yeah, you take a certain level of responsibility for your health and your well-being. Yeah. It's all connected, right?
Yeah. So I don't know that age for me has anything to do with it. It just so happens that sometimes the younger ones, just genetics hasn't caught up with them yet or something. Yeah. I don't know. That sounds horrible. I think that makes me sound like a total bitch.
I don't think so. Okay, so I have a story for you that I don't think I've shared on this podcast. So, friends of the family, back in the early days, they were divorced like in the 70s. So they're all, like, the kids are my age, and they were friends of my parents, the older generation, but got divorced. And so the mother was a single woman. And like 10 years ago, she was dating a man in her age group. Mm-hmm. But they broke up, and he ended up dating her daughter. Wait, there's more.
Oh God.
I know. Wait till you hear this.
Oh my God.
And so he was a multimillionaire. He was 20 years older than the daughter. It's their oldest daughter. So she was turning 60. He bought her own house.
Who was turning 60?
The daughter of the woman.
Okay.
That she started 60. Dating. She was turning 60. Yeah, because their mother was 80. Like, these guys were octogenarians dating.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so so it didn't work out. He started dating the daughter, who was in her probably late 50s at the time.
Yeah.
He was a multimillionaire. He bought her own house. They did not have to live together. They are married. They don't live in the same house. Nobody knows what or how it works, but they have an agreement, and she will never have to work again. How about that scenario? Would you try that one on for size, Angela?
Not if I didn't really like the guy.
I know, right? Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously he must have been, if her mother I don't know. I'd like to say if her mother dated him, he must have been a fairly, likable, vibrant person, but it still is, I can't say I don't know if I'd say no. I honestly can't say I'd say no. I'd like to think I'd say no.
I don't think I can. I could say yes, because just hearing it makes me feel like
cringy.
Like I'm trapped.
Yes,
I think I would feel trapped. It wouldn't matter what
And it's funny you say that, because whenever I talk to anybody about the concept of being someone who doesn't have to work because the man in your life can pay your way. Mm-hmm. Almost everybody agrees that that's going to come with its own set of problems. And what has she given up? Like, does that mean she's given up sex for the rest of her life? I don't know. I mean, I'm just making this up.
Hold on. Because if it was somebody I was attracted to, and I liked, and they had a lot of money, then I feel that I would be happy to teach less. And
sure.
yeah,
To have a little support, I would be happy with that.
Yeah,
for sure. If I'm attracted to them and if I want them to be my companion.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say no to somebody helping me out.
But what if it was like just a nice guy like your dad?
Well, if he was a nice guy like my dad, honestly.
You know what I mean?
But that's different. There aren't that many people that I
like
think
someone
are
you'd
like my
want,
dad.
you could see spending time. I don't know. Okay, so here's the other story. Yeah, here you go, listeners. What do you guys think? Like, what if you're single and someone came along and gave you that opportunity, where would you draw the line age-wise? Because I can certainly say the gap between 60 and 80 is significant, right? Although I do know couples.
Yeah.
Like I know someone in his 80s who does date women in their 60s. So it's not like they were married when they were both a lot younger and the age gap didn't seem that big and then they aged to the point of 60 and 80, but like where he's young and vibrant and he takes younger women out and they're down with it.
Yeah.
It's out there. But okay, so here's another scenario that someone told me about. This friend of a friend of mine, single woman traveling, she went traveling and she met this man who had Parkinson's. And I'm not sure where the Parkinson's comes in, but he was traveling. He's married, but his wife didn't want to travel anymore. So he was out traveling on his own. And they basically made an agreement, and the wife is a part of it, that she is now his travel companion. He pays for all her trips. They travel together, and he has a wife.
Do they do other things?
I don't know. Are they sexually involved? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Well, and she wasn't. The wife was perfectly healthy. And he, I think, was probably like, hey, man, like, I don't have much time left. Like, I want to get out and do stuff. And I think he probably wanted to, well, many people would rather have a companion.
There's so many different ways of living and having relationships. So many different ways. I would feel a little bit more freedom if I had more money, or I might be out having more fun because I wouldn't be thinking, okay, I really need to find somebody who could fit and we could, we would have to be able to live together and blah, blah, blah. Like all these boxes would have to be checked. Yeah.
Well, no, and I think that is a pretty reasonable request. And when you started the podcast talking about like you've been so incredibly busy, and why are you busy?
Yeah, because
you need to survive. You need to pay your bills. You want a certain lifestyle, and that means you are working a ton.
Yeah.
And if someone came along and was like, well, this is where it would get tricky.
Yeah.
If they were like, well, I want you available by 7:00 every night.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna chip in for all the bills, but you need to finish teaching by 7 because then you and I can spend time together. Like
I think I've been with people who have said that to me for sure.
Well, to me that's a reasonable request.
But they haven't said that they'd pay the bills.
Right. Well, and that's where I think and I do believe in those. I know arrangement does sound impersonal, but I do think like if a guy comes to you and says, remember when the guy who was no longer attracted to my shape?
Yeah.
I remembered thinking, well, if you would contribute more to my life financially, like if you were helping out in some way, maybe I would have the time to join a gym or the time to get out for runs or the means to eat more healthy. Like I do think there's some reality there. So if you had a guy saying, well, I'd help you out, but you need to work less. Like, I don't want you working on the weekends anymore, unless it's a special whatever.
I mean, it's an interesting way that you're saying the person might put it into words. Like, I don't want you working. Yeah, it would have to be like, hey, I would love us to spend more time together. When would you like to take more time off? Like, what about weekends? Obviously couldn't be.
Yeah, well,
just dictating. Ooh.
Well, but I mean, I do. Yes, I love it. Let's role play.
Let's do it.
Because what I'm thinking is, but isn't that like that is? I like what you're describing. That's often the end result. But like it usually starts with, they make a comment, and if you weren't so busy on the weekends, and then it starts to come out, and then it finally comes out, and then they admit it, and they're like, okay, how can we problem solve this? And then it becomes,
Yeah.
But I guess that's the point. As soon as someone is helping pay,
yeah.
that does give them it could give them a platform for wanting more control over your time or your decisions.
Well, here's what's interesting. I have always paid, pretty much always, most of the time, paid for more than the partners I'm with.
Wow.
And it certainly didn't give me any more control over them. And they certainly didn't do things to earn it.
Right. Yeah. So you never had expectations.
Yeah.
And I think there are lots of people like I do think you have that just generosity. Like you don't put there's no hooks on what you do.
Yeah. When I was younger, I would be more likely, but now I feel, I mean, God, never say never, but I feel like my desire to be, to act in a way that I will be proud of, would override.
I like how you're putting that, like what you're proud of, and
That's kind of a weird say. I couldn't figure out how to say it. But
well, I think this has been a question I've been asking myself a lot lately. Would I want this in my CV? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I've been making little small changes just because I'm like, you know, when I start describing myself as, say, I listened to 7 podcasts last night because I couldn't sleep and I kept turning on a podcast to help me go back to sleep. I'm like, is that what I want to be? A person that has to listen to 7 podcasts to sleep? You know what I mean? Like, and the answer was no. So I'm like, okay, well then I just stop. Right. And so to me, I think that's actually a great way to do like a really quick assessment. Like, because I think we all have this is who I am. But then when we actually look at how we're actually living, is it in alignment with who we think we are?
Yeah.
And often I think the answer can be no.
Yeah. I mean, that's interesting that you said the podcast thing. I would put that in a different category because I would say that if I tried to change my behavior, say not watching as much YouTube or whatever, and I tried to kind of say, are you proud of this? And have it be sort of a shame-based thing, I don't think I would change. Like, I think I need a lot of self-love and acceptance, but I'm just talking about sort of certain moral, I don't know what the other word is, but what another word would be for it. But
I think
because I don't think there's morality with, maybe there's morality with anything. I guess I just don't want to be giving, I guess when we're talking about my body, I don't want to be giving my body to somebody to get something. I feel like that's in a different category than watching listening to too many podcasts. Sure. I think they're really different. And the trying to change my behavior to be more healthy for myself, I think needs to come not with how is this going to look, but is this good for me? What do I want? Like that's how I need that loving parent. And you might need more of the, do you want people to know this about you? Is this, I'm not sure.
I think you're misinterpreting, which is understandable because of how I'm describing it. I oversimplified it just sort of into a bigger picture. Like, is this who I am? Is this who I want to be? And to me, that actually, it's interesting that you hear that as a shame. Like, it's like it's not a negative. It's like, is this who I want to be? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, okay. But I don't want to get off track with, okay, so how we got here, because yes, I oversimplified it with the podcast thing, but it was more, I was just trying to align it with those questions. To me, what you were saying was, I want to act in ways that I feel are in alignment with my values and the things I prioritize, and my being responsible for my health and my mental health and my physical health, which are really all one thing, and are my actions of any sort in alignment with such.
Yeah.
Which can get complicated because if you are overworked and you're exhausted, and you would love it if someone come along, like any of us, I don't mean you, but if one is overworked, exhausted, a single homeowner, so paying for everything, and suddenly there's an opportunity to have some help.
Yeah, totally.
What I'm talking about is it's hard to find the top of the priority list, because and I think what you're saying is, the top, what's at the top of your priority list. Like you care about yourself, your well-being, and I think the financial thing, like, it would be hard not to take that as for me, like, but if this guy alleviated some of my financial stresses, then that's also, that's up there in my priorities. And then all of a sudden I'd have more time for my other priorities. Like, it could be a very complicated question.
It could be. I think it is. The fear of not being financially solid is the reason why a lot of people stay together.
Yeah. And I think it is the reason why some people get together.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term hobosexual? I was just taught that by a friend. I don't know why.
I'm trying to figure out, I cannot make sense of that. What is the definition going to be? Okay.
So I have a friend who's been gainfully employed most of her life.
Okay.
And she and her other friends that are gainfully employed have this term called hobosexual, which is a guy who basically, they are looking for a place to hang their hat.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're looking for a woman who's got a home and
okay. Oh, so they identify these people and stay away from them, or do they like them?
Yeah, they don't. No, they don't. They don't want them around.
Okay,
but they've all had experience with them. The homosexuals they come in, they charm their way in, and they're like, the next thing they know, they're with a guy who's like hasn't moved out of the house,
for sure,
watching TV all day.
Homosexual.
I know. Well, in a way, it kind of sounds like you've dated some hobosexuals yourself, because you just said you spent more money in the relationship generally than they have.
Yeah, although I don't think that they were in it for that reason. They weren't. They worked. It's just that when I wanted to do things that cost money, I ended up paying for it, because that's not something that they would deem worthy of paying that money for, But they weren't looking for somebody for a free ride. It was just, I just happened to spend more money than they did.
Right. Okay. So I'm just curious, and I may be going a very wrong angle or an inappropriate angle, but what I took with that is, in a way, what you're saying is you would want more control, so you would pay for it. Is that right? Like, if you wanted to do something and they're like, I'm not into that, you're like, that's fine, I'll pay for it.
Yeah. So, for example, if I wanted to, I rented a house with somebody and they really liked the house. And they said, listen, and they loved the house as well. Like, it was an amazing house. And they were like, listen, this is how much I'm paying in my current apartment. I'd be willing to pay that. And since you're teaching here, why don't you pay more?
And you were okay with that?
I mean, I thought I was.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So then you thought you were.
I thought I was.
But you weren't.
I think, now that I know the character of this person, I realize.
Right. So this reminds me of such a theme of my life lately. It's that you accommodated something. It seemed reasonable. It seemed appropriate. Yeah. And you accommodated it, and you accommodated it and accommodated it. And then one day, it doesn't even matter when, you went, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And that's a big thing. Like it remember way back when in that podcast when you talked about, I wake up and I curl my hair, but I don't really always curl my hair. Mm-hmm. But it's scary how it's not just curling hair. Like, we agree to things like a guy who doesn't have a job, or a guy who convinces us that, you should pay more rent because you're teaching in the house.
So why
sometimes
do we
it's
do
married
that?
Men, or why do we do that? So I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here.
Okay.
I feel like this has been such a subject with women that we have been conditioned by society to make sure is everybody else happy, and that we are meant to sacrifice our needs for others, and that will ultimately make us happier or happy enough. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. It's possible. I also think that I act that way out of fear that if I really did or asked for what I felt was fair, that person wouldn't be interested in me. I think that was my past anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you had a conscious awareness.
I don't know if I did then, but I do now.
Yeah.
I know why I did the things I did. And it was because there was that fear that, oh boy.
But okay, so this is where I find it kind of scary. I don't realize I'm accommodating someone. Because I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. I totally get it. Yeah, like oh yeah, well, his circumstance is this, so of course it has to be this way. And yet then 7 years later,
Yeah.
I'll go, whoa.
I mean, I think that in my case, once I developed more of a sense of being worthy, then I looked upon those days of accommodating in a different way than I did when I didn't feel worthy. So I feel now more worthy of love, and I don't feel like I have to. So I wonder if that was similar to you, because that's a long period of time to be with somebody and you change a lot. If you're a person who's working on yourself, you're going to go through a lot of growth. So maybe it wasn't like, and then it was just, I can't do it anymore. Maybe it was like you were morphing into a person whose values were a little bit different, who's feeling about what was fair, what you deserved. I hate that word, that term. I also, but so maybe it was just like, oh, I'm not that person anymore.
Wow. Would you say that in your past relationship, were you at that point where you felt like you had outgrown that accommodation stage, like that you were?
In which one are we talking
Whatever
about?
your last relationship, like your last experience with love, would you say that you were more evolved in that way and less willing to?
Just start within. Actually, it's interesting because that relationship helped me to evolve, to know that I couldn't accommodate in that way. And
Isn't
that
that
person
amazing?
actually helped me to see my worth. It's not very
Cut and dry?
Yeah, at all.
Yeah, well, we learn and grow so much with others.
Yeah. That person, that last love relationship, helped me to feel that was part of the, therapy and all these things, but that was part of the piece of the puzzle that helped me to feel like I was lovable,
Because they found you lovable?
Because they seemed to love in most ways, except for one, that person loved who I actually was.
Yeah.
Not projection.
Yeah.
Except for one very important way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say, because somehow they introduced you to the concept that you were lovable.
Yeah.
And then when they got triggered, they weren't able to, they didn't stay aligned with that.
Yeah.
But when they weren't triggered, you were lovable.
And I didn't have to be, I could be myself. I found that I could be myself with them. Whereas in past relationships, I've tried to curate somebody that this person would. And so my just recent past one, not that recent, I felt like actually saw the real me, and unless they were triggered, loved that.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that, and that like, that's the sad thing. Like, we can't control what our partners bring in and what triggers them, and their baggage and what triggers them. And so, like, at least I think it's really a beautiful thing that you're recognizing and acknowledging it as, their triggers, that they're not a bad person or whatever, or that there's something wrong with them. But at the same time, you also realize that if those triggers are going to be such a prevalent part of the relationship, it doesn't fit.
Yeah. Yeah. And what about you? Like, if you were to, so you're recently single, and so if you were to imagine, maybe you want to give yourself time, maybe you don't, but the kind of relationship that you'd like to be in, let's say you're completely financially independent. What would that look like for you?
So as you asked that question, my throat was closing up. So I think there's such trepidation for me. Like, I honestly do not believe I'm capable of thinking rationally in a selection process with a a man. But okay, so that's me right now. But let me just write a little story. So my story would be like maybe in a few years. And I've been, let's say, part of, because I love hiking, I've been part of a hiking group. And there's a guy in the group and we've, chatted from time to time. We've gone for a few hikes. Maybe a year's gone by, and then maybe there's like hey, maybe we'll go out for dinner sometime, so like a really long process where someone I've known, not as a friend, but just someone I've known has, things have gone to a stage of let's go out for dinner. And it just becomes a very like, we share common interests and we do things together.
Okay.
I don't see marriage and I don't see living with someone. I don't even think, honestly, like right now, I don't even like men, which doesn't mean I like women. Like I look at men. I used to feel an attraction when I'd see a guy. I swear I'd size almost every guy up I saw. I'd be like, oh, how about him? How about him?
Yeah.
And now I just look at them and I just go, handful of problems. Like I'm really, yeah. So maybe I'm not over.
Yeah, you mean need a little more processing.
I mean, a little time.
Say. Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah. I want to ask you the same question, though. Tell me about you.
Okay, I'm getting a little dream here. Okay, so if I did not have to depend on a guy, then I think I would be with somebody who had their own place. I know. But I liked their place and they liked my place.
Are we 20? Oh my God. But it's so true. You don't want a hobosexual.
Oh, well, actually what I meant was that didn't come out right. What I meant was we would both, what I meant was we both have, we don't live together, but we've talked about this before. Like I would let, the condos that are attached, that kind of a thing. Like I would like to have my own living space. And be very in close proximity, or maybe not too close, but maybe a few blocks away, or maybe
walking distance would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice. And but
or hamster. What was it? A hamster tube?
Oh, yes, some kind of a tube coming from. And but that we would spend a lot of time together. That we would have goals that we would set, like maybe even financial goals, maybe even goals like maybe we have our own places, but we have a mutual financial goal that involves maybe another place that we buy, or that involves travel,
or retiring together by 75, or
or something like that. And I just see somebody who's happy, shared hobbies, I guess.
How are you going to meet this person? This is, and I don't mean this, I mean this in the dream. How, just as I described how I'm meeting my guy, how have you met your guy?
In the dream,
he's a handyman. Isn't it funny how that, I love that. Like there is, I have recently met a man. Okay, so I know I just said all men just seem like a problem, but
a bag of problems.
I'm like, there is someone I've met recently who is so good looking. He's in his, I'd guess, late 40s and is so good looking. I have not responded to a person like this in a very long time. So I have, and this man is married and I know his kids. So there's no, like it's just, but it was kind of neat to have this moment where, and if I know I'm going to run into him, I'm like, that'll be fun. So, there is someone, I suppose, that does give me a little bit of a, ooh.
I would love to meet this person. Like, honestly, I'm not even joking. Like, maybe I know them, maybe I've known them for a while, and kind of like you said, maybe, or
I had this thought the other day, because I know everybody online dates and it's so the norm, but I suddenly had this thought. I was like, oh my God, I really do think that it is a certain personality of man that online dates. it's that same mentality that I just want things to happen quick. Like I don't want to
Yeah.
have to go through a process. And I mean, I don't know how else people meet. Like, but I know they do. Like,
Yeah.
they have to.
People do. Yeah.
And I've heard there is more and more movement towards meeting people in person.
Right.
But like, fuck, not if it's a fucking money making venture.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so tired of that. Like,
what do you mean? Sorry.
well, I just don't trust it. Like, if it's like something you pay for, like a let's do lunch, or I don't know what some of these groups are called. You know, where you meet in person.
Yeah.
But it's not this. But it's still, yeah. I don't know how to meet organically. I don't know.
I mean, I think, for example, I was just thinking back to when I used to do community music theater, and I think many people in that environment met. You know.
But your other description of maybe someone you've known a long time, like I know of at least 2 circumstances of people that were high school sweethearts, and then like 40 years later, or 50 years later, they ended up running into each other. And have you heard? Do you know any of those stories?
No, I'm not. No, I don't. That makes it feel very safe. You know what I mean? Like it does a lot of the work already.
Well, but I think there's a lot to be said about that. Like I think that is often why we do connect with people from a long, long, long time ago. There's just a feeling of ease because you don't have to like go, well, are they too good to be true? Like,
yeah,
is he really? What does he mean when he says he's divorced or separated? Or, because what I find is I draw conclusions based on what people say to me, based on my own behaviors.
Yeah.
So if I hear someone's, well, we're separated, we're not divorced, but like, I don't really need to get divorced. I go, I didn't either. So that's what, I take it as they must mean what I meant. Yeah. But they, that's not always the case, right?
Yeah. And it could be a dangerous projection too. That would,
that's true. That's true.
It could also be be a bad, not a good human being. But
I was just talking to someone about why is it when we see old friends, there's just some ease about that. And this is a general statement now, because I know you did run into this elementary school friend recently. And it was just there's just that feeling. I don't know what it is. Like when I see old community friends, it's something about we knew each other when.
I think we knew each other before we
went crazy.
Developed all of our ways of hiding, a kind of I'll use the word curating again, ourselves in the world.
Well, I mean, I suppose this is not anything new, because people talk about this a lot. Like you're born sort of much brighter light, and then through life you become, your light dulls. But I do have noticed with females, and I'm not saying it's not with males, but I've seen it with females, where there is something that changes when they hit puberty. Like something that suddenly they do see eyes on them more, and they become more worried about how they're projecting to the world. And that, that innocence of youth where, you don't care if your hair is a mess and your shirt isn't tucked in and you've got mess, on your face, and you're on the monkey bars, and you're just living your life.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is heavy, but I think
this has been a big year. It's been a heavy year for me.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. How funny am I? Am I as funny as I was a year ago? I don't know if I am. I'm not laughing as much as I was. Yeah. And yet I would say I do feel like I've had a hard year, but I also feel like I have been far more returning to neutral and contentment and peace through the whole thing. But I guess I don't feel shitty.
Yeah.
I've had a shitty year, but I don't feel shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just because we're not killing ourselves laughing right now doesn't mean anything. Yeah. I just want you to see that I have 3 pairs of glasses, and none of them are relieving the eye strain that I have. Because
do you think you could do this with your eyes closed?
I want to try. Okay, let's just see
Okay,
how.
for the next few minutes, Angela is going to attempt a podcast interview with her eyes
I'm putting
closed.
the heating pad over.
Wait, the microphone's behind you. Let's lie you down. I'll hold the microphone over your head.
Okay, no, this is working. Okay, ask me a question.
Okay, so Angela, what would you like to see? Let's fast forward. It's now the end of the summer.
Okay.
And tell me about your summer. What do you want to see for Angie, for Mangles Angie? I hate Mangles.
Okay,
what do you want to see for Angie in
the summer?
Hey, Ange, how was your summer?
Oh my God, Margaret. Holy shit. First of all, it started off, my friend Sue visited me and we had a great time and we really reset because she loves to get out and walk and exercise. She doesn't particularly like to shop. I saved so much money while she was staying with me. We ate really healthily. And when we were out at this jazz thing, and I saw somebody I haven't seen for a long time, and we started chatting, and it was just so nice. And then we ran into each other after she left, and then we just decided to, just go for coffee, and we've been seeing each other for a couple of weeks, and it's really nice, and feels very easy, and I'm in a good rhythm. I'm still doing all the things that I'm passionate about. But, I don't feel like I have to completely change my life. And I'm just feeling really positive about the things that I've put into action and the fact that I get to share it with somebody new. How was your summer?
I love it. Wait, first I want to say, because what I thought you might say was, well, I spent the first couple of weeks summer going around my house and breaking things. So my handyman had to come over and fix things. And the next thing you knew, he asked me out for coffee. No, how was my summer? Oh, it was great. I was successful becoming a tennis player. I love it. I loved it when I was bad. I loved it as I got better. I just love it. It's so much fun. I love doing it alone, but I've also, had fun with my girlfriend who plays, and I've also started meeting other people that play, and I'm really happy about that. And then I went on a couple of I found this great hiking group, and I've done some really great hikes, and I did a couple trips, and I met some really good people, and I've continued to successfully, for the first time in my life, enjoy a friendship with my the person that, my relationship recently ended with. We are really enjoying a friendship because we really do love each other, and we just got to the point where we just couldn't figure out how to make it work with our circumstances. Yeah, that was how my summer was.
That sounds really fun.
So does yours. All right, well, let's not do another episode now for 2 months.
Okay.
I love it. You know what we didn't say? So we forgot to introduce ourselves. So we're going to say goodbye, but as we're saying goodbye, I'm going to say you've been listening to How Do You Do Love with Mag and Ange. I'm Margaret Dahlberg, and
I'm Angela Kavar.
Love it. Look, we could do it without laughter.
Yeah.
It's just there. So we're going to put this episode out, and then I don't know when we're going to record the next one. We're going to put a few out this summer, we hope. And maybe next year, Angie will have a schedule that and Margaret too, will have a schedule that's conducive to recording a few more, but we'll keep them coming when we can. Thanks for listening. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
So there you have it, folks. Thanks for listening. This has been How Do You Do Love with Mag and Ange. I always like to give credit to the artist who designed the beautiful single line sketch of Christine with the flowers and roses that I'm using on our cover. So thank you, Stephen Morton. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.